Hey everybody, welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. I'm your host, Smooth Operative, and you are watching Time Capsule. It is the show where we travel back in time to your favorite years in gaming and showcase awesome speedruns of games released in the same year. On tonight's show, we only have to travel just a few years back to the year 2020, featuring magical speedruns of Pumpkin Jack and later, Ori and the Will of the Wisps. But before we get into the games, friends, let's cover a couple of announcements. First of all, let's talk about the upcoming marathons we have. GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Flame Fatales, returns on August 18th through the 25th. You can use the command !FF in our Twitch chat to check out the schedule and let us know what you are looking forward to the most. GDQ is also going to be at PAX West from August 30th through September 2nd. The schedule is now out, and if you use the command !PAX in our Twitch chat, you can access the whole schedule. So we will hope you tune in for those. But let's get the games rolling for tonight, shall we, friends? Here to speedrun Pumpkin Jack, please welcome Rip WSB. Hi.
Hello, thank you.
Yes, welcome.
On our actual couch with me is Seeps5.
Hello, thank you so much, Smooth Operative. Happy to be here.
And yeah, this is
welcome, Seeps.
Pumpkin Jack.
Pumpkin Jack. Tell us about Pumpkin Jack, Rip.
So Pumpkin Jack is basically in kind of homage to the PS2 classic platforming, 3D platforming classics of youth. Basically a one-man dev team from France named Nicolas, I'm going to mispronounce his name, but Maisonnier, maybe? And
okay, we're going with it.
yeah, like he really enjoyed Jack and Daxter and basically learned how to make a game and then made it. So
yeah, which is
cool.
Insane.
But yeah, this will be 100%. We're going to collect there's these little crow skulls in the game, and there's some gramophones that we interact with, which is like an old school looking record player, if you've never heard of that before. But I guess
it's cute. Y'all like it.
We'll just hop into it.
Yay.
Yeah.
Get things going.
Sure, whenever you're ready.
So time will start when we actually get control of Jack, but the year was 2020.
Once upon a time.
I know, it feels funny to only go such a short amount of years back, but, I didn't get to see all the 2020 games when they were new, so, now's our time to shine, my friends.
A lot of games. It was a good year for gaming, 2020.
Yeah, it actually was.
Yeah.
No exaggeration, right?
All right, do you want to do the countdown?
Okay, I'll do the countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Get it on.
Let's go. Good luck.
Thank you. So yeah, we are Pumpkin Jack. You want to do the main story stuff, or?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, we're Pumpkin Jack. So this is a universe which previously was just perfect. It was an ideal world with no crimes, no war, no people didn't want anything, and the devil was pretty bored with it. So the devil decided, let's just make things pretty evil, and
as one does.
yeah, he was pretty bored, so he sent Jack. He put a wandering spirit into this pumpkin head. He's in this pumpkin head embodied, and he is Stingy Jack, who is this horrible thieving
trickster of a human.
Yeah, just kind of the worst of the worst, and the devil kind of made a deal with him. Here we have our first gramophone, but yeah, he made a deal basically saying
you take out the humans champion and keep this curse up, and you get to have your soul back, basically.
Yeah, so as the humans champion, because obviously the humans aren't really into this this curse.
They're fighting back.
Yeah.
Go humanity.
Yeah, the champion is a wizard. Which is our antagonist, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, we are pulling for evil in this run.
And he's got moves. Like,
Yeah,
I saw what he did back there at the gramophone.
right, he does.
Yeah, I guess, so there's one gramophone per level, and there's 6 levels, so there's almost like 6 minutes of just Jack dancing, eventually.
Oh my gosh, it's funny when you put it like that. Like throughout the course of the run, we will have at least 6 minutes of dance to experience, and I like
quite
that.
a bit of grooving and moving. And then each level has 20 skulls. So we're doing a 120 run.
Oh yeah,
All right.
it's like Mario, but instead of stars, it's skulls.
Yes.
And then one thing you can do in this game is go to like the next checkpoint, and it sometimes will bring in the skulls that are otherwise tied to fights, which is kind of nice. So there's a lot of fights that we just completely skip and ignore. There's still a few that we'll have to do. For some reason, those fights can't be skipped, but they are far and few between. So it's just a lot of moving around, going past stuff, and taking the easy route. And then just
Now, is there like a more extreme routing of this game? Would you say this category is like you get to experience more, see more, do more?
I really enjoy this category because it feels a lot more chill than the other categories. You definitely get to see more of the levels in the game. I know in New Game Plus, each level you get access to a new weapon, and once you start to have multiple weapons, you can use a weapon like menu wheel to slow down time in game. And that
Menu wheel?
yeah, that gets used to kind of break the game, and then also the weapons that you get can be used to break the game. So
Oh, interesting.
like New Game Plus runs are pretty crazy because you skip a ton of stuff, especially the unrestricted ones where you can go out of bounds and basically just go straight to the boss and like almost all the levels. So yeah, this one you definitely see a lot more of the game.
There's a lot of these little head puzzles that we just saw. There's quite a few of them in this. This is the only one that we'll see.
Oh, yeah.
So there's still plenty of skipping to be had. But yes, this is just to kind of show that Jack is just the pumpkin part.
Yeah. And this
Nothing else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this whole first level is basically just kind of like an introduction, like most games, an introduction to the movement. And story-wise, it's for Jack to get used to being a pumpkin, basically, and getting a body again after being a wandering spirit for so long.
So the pumpkin head was a puzzle that you had to solve?
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, there's, I think, like 1 or 2 per level where you get these little puzzle type situations. Each level or world or whatever you want to call them, there's like a little bit of a twist to them. Like in the next level, you turn into, I guess you're always a pumpkin head, but you have to like deal with bombs and push them along and then try and raise and lower things. And then I think the third world is like a Simon Says type of game that you play. So they all have like a
Simon
little
Says
theme.
could be fun.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Forgot about that.
It was a lot easier than the bomb one for sure. Yeah. But yeah, we skip everything
Yeah.
from now on. So if you haven't played this game and want to enjoy it casually, we will try not to spoil anything because hopefully we'll be skipping it all.
Oh yeah, that's the nice thing about speedruns. Is like you can usually still watch the game even if you want to play it casually because it's so different.
Mash through the text so you don't have to worry about getting anything ruined or
The dialogue is pretty funny in this game.
Yeah.
Especially for, like, I mean, it's a French creator, so either someone who knows multiple languages just translated it really well or something, but there's like these really clever puns in here that I enjoy. I'm a pun fan.
Is that kind of more Jack's personality?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Jack showing through.
Okay.
So
I appreciate that.
I guess we didn't mention the crow
the
he's got.
crow, yeah. So the crow is kind of like this secondary character. He obviously does not like the scarecrow. who is our boss that we're going to be meeting here very soon, and he created a deal with Jack, basically saying, if you help me get rid of this scarecrow, then I'll help you out. So this is our final skull for this level. Yay! So that is all completed. This is our boss, the crow, who doesn't have a name, which I think is a shame, but he doesn't seem so scared of the scarecrow right now.
Yeah.
But he becomes,
No, not at all.
yeah, he kind of becomes like a little partner. You can use him to attack, and but really he's just kind of your buddy. He's kind of afraid of things. I like the crow.
Kind of just like give
Now,
you
do they
clips
talk
throughout.
to each other?
Yeah, throughout the game you get little clips from
Oh.
them. Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
There's also the owl, which we've kind of just skipped by, and the owl is the devil's eyes on Jack. So the devil basically just wants to make sure that Jack is holding up his end of the deal.
Yeah.
So the owl appears
Nick.
to make sure that he's kind of staying on track. Sometimes will be helpful, but for the most part, we just kind of skip.
Yeah, trying to guide us on like our quest because we don't really know where we're going or what we're doing. So he's like, maybe you should try going to the mountains. We've heard that there's something deep in the mines that could help you.
Yeah, so that's our
Okay, so he like tips you off.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's
So-
our second level, the haunted mine.
But yeah, now that we've got more control over Jack and he's adjusted to his new pumpkin body, we're kind of making our way to try and solve this wizard problem we have. Oh, no, we're good.
You did that during
Every time. I
Bagos.
never press that jump.
Oh wow, those look kind of tricky to time.
And if anybody's a fan of Coyote Time, this is the game for you because it's infinite. So if you love just floating in there and then jumping whenever you want, we got you. We got a double jump. You can jump whenever you want. And ledge grab anything almost.
Sometimes when you
Wow,
don't want
see.
to.
You can't ask for more though. You really can't.
This is the menu wheel that he was
yeah.
mentioning that slows down time, which is used to just get on really precise jumps. So something about the controls in this game, I find them to be very kind of floaty. They're not always as intuitive immediately, but once you get used to them, it makes more sense. But at first, you're just like, oh, wow, gravity's a little bit different.
Ooh, I thought that would work. Yeah, for some reason when you use the weapon wheel on like a corner or when you're up against two walls that kind of come together, usually when you use your double jump, that's it. Until you hit the ground, you're good. But for some reason, if you use the weapon wheel, it kind of like creates collision or something. I don't remember the specifics on it, but you're able to like renew your double jump, and we use that a lot to climb walls and get over invisible walls and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's
oops,
kind of cool
got a little
though.
lost.
That it works at all.
Yeah, so that was one of the just the main big ones in all categories, and we use that to skip basically just like a little auto scroller rail section where you normally would take a mine cart. Yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna ask, are we getting in the mine cart tonight, or?
we do get
Guess
one
the
mine
answer's
cart.
no.
Yeah,
Okay, one. I'll take that.
which I do enjoy the mine carts, even though the mine carts is scary. In all the other levels, you can run into objects and not die, but for some reason, the mine cart, if you hit anything, you die immediately. So
Oof, it's easy to go off the rails, I guess.
exactly, there we go. Very unforgiving. So there we did one of the classic, go to the next checkpoint, get the save point, and then go back in to get a skull tied to a fight that we don't have to fight. But we do have to fight this guy. But all his friends are gone, so just one weird bat-looking thing.
Bat pig.
And then because we got the checkpoint earlier, we can just death respawn and it'll take us back up there.
Nice. Good job on that one.
Which RTA, is still probably saving time, but for actual runs, we use the in-game timer, so that will pause when you die and do stuff with the menu. So it's kind of nice.
Jack with the moves.
Yeah. Number 2.
Yeah. What do you think? Like, if there were no in-game music, what do you think Jack would be dancing to?
Ooh.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
What do y'all think, chat? Like, what would you be dancing to as a pumpkin? That's what I want to know.
I would say, I
Let
think
us
there's a
know.
band called like Halloween or something,
Ooh. Yeah, that sounds good.
but I don't know if that's just too.
Too predictable.
Yeah,
I see it as a book. I'll have to
maybe like Lady Gaga or
dive
something,
deeper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna throw us for a
or
loop.
One Direction or something weird.
Yeah.
Rocking out to Bad Romance.
Yeah,
Like, hold on, you're onto something here.
Oh, chat's dancing now. That's what I like
There we
to
go.
see.
we fully support the dancers in this speed run,
Absolutely.
because you can only get the dancing in 100% run.
Yeah, no dancing in any other categories. So
No dancing, no
Oh,
fun.
Well, then this is clearly the best category.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
6 minutes of dancing.
So now we got our mine cart.
Here's the mine cart. Oh, this looks tough.
You got the bird destroying the obstacles ahead of you.
Thank you, bird.
Very Donkey Kong Country vibes, where you jump over the gaps.
I like minecart mayhem. I do.
I can almost like hear the sounds like when the minecart lands.
Yes, same. It never leaves you, y'all.
Shout outs to Donkey Kong
Truly,
Love it.
and Sonic. That was fun to watch.
that was awesome to watch.
Oh my gosh. Y'all, Supersonic is incredible at not only just speedruns, but Sonic especially. Always amazing to have Supersonic on the show.
I was curious what that run was going to be like, and it definitely lived up to the hype in my head, at least, of
Yeah.
what it was going to be.
Absolutely.
That was wild.
What caught me off guard the most was the changing of areas every time we got a ring. Like that.
Yeah.
At first, I was like, "How's this gonna work?" But it did somehow seamlessly.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that's just a testament to Supersonic being a good runner as well. Everybody knows that, like,
and-
good speed runs, when done well, are like, oh, that
Yeah, it
looks
just
so
looked
easy.
So fluid, and anybody can do that.
Absolutely. And shout outs to Skybills for hosting random number generation.
Yes,
We love the show. We are fans.
we are fans. Maybe Pumpkin Jack's listening to Sonic music.
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, y'all. What about like Oil Ocean? That's my jam.
Yes, I see it. I see the vision.
We're gonna be like making a million like different clips of Pumpkin Jack just dancing to every music that we can think of now. Like I'm waiting for the memes to roll in.
I wonder like what BPM would match up with what he's doing.
Oh yeah, Rip, are you gonna be DJing on Twitch here soon?
Maybe. It might be the next
Wow, okay.
venture. Oops.
Oh, okay, cool. Very cool.
So we have these weird plank sections where the camera kind of rotates, or not rotates, but just sways back and forth. One little section.
It's creepy but comforting.
Yeah, landing on things in this game is probably the hardest part of the speedrun. Not the tricks themselves, but just landing on things.
The parkour of it all.
Yeah. Just for fun, sometimes I'll try to jump on a lamppost, and I'll spend minutes trying just to land on the lamppost, which is like such a huge part of this game. Again, Rip makes it look so easy. Like, oh yeah, just jump on the lamppost. But no.
Now, have you tried to learn this a little bit yourself, Siebes?
I haven't. I mostly when he just sets the controller down, I'll pick it up and mess around with it, and that's as far as I go. But the people who run this game though are awesome. The whole community, everybody's just really fun.
Yeah, it may not be the most
Yeah.
active right now, but if anybody does show up, they just like all, there's like a bat signal goes up. There's a pumpkin in the air, and
Oh my god.
everybody's willing to help and make sure I
Get the pumpkins out. We got a new one. Like,
Yeah.
Someone's interested. Yeah.
Everybody's very invested in the game.
so small but close. I
Yeah.
like that.
They're super helpful.
Yeah, there have been nights where I'm like, good night, and he stays up like labbing with other people. Have fun.
I mean, yeah, if it's a passion that you have and you want to explore the game, I think why not? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and this game is kind of just like susceptible to being cracked open and a lot of fun things happening. So that's the mines though.
Oh yeah, we didn't fight a boss because we skipped them.
And now we have a sword, a talking sword.
Ooh, more friends.
Yes, more friends. All of our weapons are friends. This sword insulted us and then said, "Take me with you. I'll teach you how to fight."
It's like Gunther. If anybody's played Enter the Gungeon,
Yes.
you'll understand. But we have access
Like-
to an attack with the sword that lets us do these lamp boosts, and that's a huge part of especially New Game Plus, and basically every Pumpkin Jack run is using these lamps to kind of shoot ourselves around the area as much as we can. There's some really crazy boosts you can do while the menu's open.
Oh, I've been slacking on my skull duties. I'm sorry.
But since we started on a fresh file, and kind of the same problem with new game runs is you only have access to the good stuff later on in the game. But
Oh yeah, you got to go through it once to get the whole
Yeah.
experience again. I do like this area though. This is a cool one.
This is the cursed swamps here. And after the mines, why do we end up in the swamp?
oh yeah, because in the mines we're looking for an amulet at
Yes.
the tablet at the end. But we interacted with the wizard and kind of glossed over that. But we kind of interact with like a hologram that the wizard projects, and basically he's telling us like, you missed me. We saw your fight with the phantom that we didn't actually fight, and basically the wizard just kind of studying up on Jack's fighting, so when they do meet finally, he's ready for him. And I think we're just like following some advice from the owl and some like magic readings or something coming from the swamp. So we head into like the swampy wooded area, and then we don't really make any headway. Come on, get on the lamp. There we go. But we're just trying to find any leads still, because the amulet that was supposed to have all the power wasn't at the top of the mountain.
Was it?
Yeah.
It wasn't it.
It got.
It wasn't there. Oh, okay. It got stolen.
Yes.
I thought you meant at first like it just wasn't it. Like didn't work. Forgot the amulet.
Yeah, luckily, because the amulet's supposed to be able to like take care of the curse, but the wizard still doesn't really know how to like unlock its true power.
I see.
So while the wizard does have potentially the end to the curse, they don't know how to use it. So there's still a chance. VT
Yeah, we
staying
still have
up
time.
late.
Time to fix things.
Hey, shout outs to VT in chat. One of a very, very good runner and individual level extraordinaire.
Truly.
I think it's like
cheers, shout
4 or
outs.
5 o'clock for him over in over in Europe.
So we
Yeah,
just
shout outs.
we just met the merchant who has heard tales of Jack and is like, oh, me and my wife, we're such a big fan of you.
Wait, what? He's a local celebrity?
Yeah, he's like, all that evil stuff you're doing, we're into it. So
Jack, yeah, loves the attention and stuff. So normally he would just basically ignore anybody and everybody because he's selfish. But he's like, okay.
Yeah, so they need help finding some mushrooms, which we're doing now. And collecting some skulls along the way. But yeah, usually Jack would not be into this idea, but flattery works on Jack.
Wow. He likes the fame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The attention.
Because I guess he is kind of infamous for tricking the devil, what, 3 times, I think was the story?
I think so, yeah.
So like all the monsters kind of know of Jack at least.
Oh, okay, I see. That makes more sense.
And then the merchant knows at least what to tell him to get him to help out.
Sweet talking merchant over here.
All right, how many do we have? We have 10 so far. Hopefully that's right.
Oh, nice. We have a steed now.
Yeah. So this is the upgraded minecart section. Should have 12.
I was gonna ask.
We may be missing 2 skulls.
Oh, I've been slacking.
It's okay. So they're in the swamp, presumably somewhere. Okay, it's time to go on a hunt, I guess. All right, everybody, welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. You are watching Time Capsule. Thank you so much for your patience during some technical difficulties, but I think we are ready to get the ball continuing to roll here. What do you say, Rip?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get the pumpkin rolling.
All right, let's
Get the pumpkin rolling.
another countdown here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go again.
All right, so
All right.
we were on a horse and we will be back on a horse soon.
Gotta get back up on the horse,
Yeah.
you know.
Oh, like a lamb in a tree. All right. This is the cursed horse.
The cursed horse is gonna take our internet. Oh no.
Yeah, so now we are making our way to the witch, right? Yep, and gonna go pay her a visit.
Yeah, the merchants told Jack that the witch could probably help him out and give him some information. So we're like, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Information is valuable.
for a couple of mushrooms, we'll make that deal.
So wait, can Jack eat food?
Oh, the mushrooms are for the merchant.
Oh, right.
So
They're
we
for the
help-
merchant. Okay.
Get the mushrooms for him. He lets us use his magical horse to cross the swamp because Jack does not like water. And then we have the witch as like just a little icing on the cake with some information potentially.
Are they husband and
Nice,
wife,
isn't it?
or am I just making that up in my
I think
head?
so. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think they are together.
Oh, the merchant and the witch?
Yeah, I think they're a thing.
Oh, okay.
Young old love.
Weird that they're so far apart, you know? You gotta take a horse to get to the witch's house.
He's working his day job.
Yeehaw. That's one of my favorite lines.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Yeah, so as Rip mentioned, the sword opens up these crazy maneuvers where you just fling across the map, and that's a huge mechanic that you'll see throughout this run, but definitely in any percent, that's like the whole run.
Yeah, once you get on to the sword, it's just lamp central from then on.
Oh man, you're like surfing on the sword.
Yeah, the sword's really cool because you're kind of floating and... Wait, where am I going? Luckily, I got a save point. Okay. Forgot this is the different tower.
Nice. I'm causing a ruckus over here. I apologize.
Now, Jack approves of all ruckus.
That's a good point.
Any and all ruckus
Yeah.
is okay. All right.
Ooh. We will take the slow way.
Yo, we get to like... I actually couldn't tell if we were surfing down this or if we were walking, but I guess we're kind of slowly walking down.
Yeah, sometimes on those lamps, if you are in a bad position, it'll shoot you the wrong way.
And then the lamp gets destroyed, so you don't really get a second
So
chance.
one and done usually.
Yeah.
And the reverse lamp boosts are actually like really hard to do, so that was kind of... If I could use that in specific spots, that would be helpful, but not this one.
It's always so frustrating when you find something useful, but you can't find like a good place to implement
Yeah.
said like, useful
The
trick.
speedrunner's curse.
It really is.
Take a little mushroom detour and get a gramophone. These mushrooms sometimes can give you a weird bounce if you catch like an edge incorrectly, so it's a little scary sometimes.
More Jack dances. You're welcome.
The moves.
The whole Lady Gaga collection.
He does have some like Lady Gaga moves. Definitely inspired, I believe.
It's interesting that y'all bring up Lady Gaga because I believe she performed at the Olympics just this
Oh, really?
last couple of days.
Maybe
Yeah,
that's-
Summer Olympics. Anyone watching?
I've only caught like a couple of the highlights, but it's always an exciting time.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it'll be funny years from now when, we're all watching this or someone's watching this and we're talking about the 2024 Olympics while doing a 2020 episode.
That's a good point. We need to talk about the 2020 Olympics.
Oh yeah, the 2020 Olympics were postponed, I think, until 2021.
Oh, yeah.
It was like a very weird year for the Olympics or the Summer Games.
That's right. I've forgotten about that.
Yeah, Gojira performed. That was awesome. Psych, you saw that? Very cool. There was like, there was so much music on the river.
Wait, they
I
played
think
for
Jack
the
would
Olympics?
fit right in. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
It really has been something this past week. Like, I've been trying to tune in when I can.
Oh, they are French, aren't they?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I think maybe even Celine performed at a certain point and catching little highlights here and there.
Forget the sports. Let's just tune into
no
the
kidding.
performances. Yeah.
Right? I think that's the fact that they're highlighting some of these great performers has been really fun to see too. Like, the athletes are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
So it's just like the icing on the cake. It's very cool.
I have really enjoyed all the Snoop Dogg side quests that he's
Oh my god.
been doing. That's just been fun to see.
It's really been an adventure for Snoop over there.
Living his best life.
Les Snoop.
I like to think that Jack is like, he's got the torch, right? In his skull.
Yes.
Pumpkin.
Yeah.
In his pumpkin face. You go, torch holder.
You bear that torch. Except for not for humanity, for evil.
Yeah.
We'll go with
It's
it.
all right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We're good.
And the game is French, that's right. So it's just the theme is on.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I want to say Nicholas was 18 when he started working on this game and wrapped it up when he was about 22. And
That's very impressive.
Basically learned how to make a game in 3 years and then refined it and kind of remade it all in the last year into what Pumpkin Jack is now. Which is
So he just kind of started from scratch with no knowledge,
Yeah.
just a dream and an idea. That's awesome.
Yeah, he used the Unreal Engine's blueprint tool to make this whole game, but he didn't actually have to learn how to write any code,
Yeah.
which is so
Apparently that's a
fun.
thing. Yeah.
That's wild.
It's like had a vision.
amazing.
Yeah.
How far we've come in being able to create the ideas that we have. Like, it's so cool.
Yep, good. So now we have a slightly different auto-scroller section.
Boat cruise.
Little Caron cruise.
You won't see me on a boat cruise. I have seasickness.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
No, thank you.
Hopefully these waters aren't too rough.
So these ghosts are just trying to throw you off your game. They're not too much of a threat.
No, not really, yeah.
Same with this like boat flip. Just trying to spice it up
okay.
a little.
Because sometimes it's like, it's an auto scroller, but there's still things to do, so it can be sometimes easy to mess up.
Yeah.
That's real.
It's definitely that the barrel roll with the boat is always scary, because sometimes you can kind of you think you're landing on something solid and then it'll just like Jack will slide off. Luckily there's
The hitbox is weird.
a save point. There's like a couple in this whole boat ride, but it's still every time I'm just like, this is gonna be the time where it goes in, and then every now and then you will get wet and it sucks, but
because he can't swim.
poor little
No, that
pumpkin guy.
He'll just fall right over.
The
Drown.
one thing he fears.
Yeah. I guess he does like have like a flame inside of him, so maybe that's
That's true.
a water flame
yeah,
combo.
like-
He has the whole Olympic torch in his
Yeah,
hand.
that's true. All this time, we finally figured out the trick to Jack.
Oh my gosh. So Jack can't die if he's carrying the Olympic torch. It's just got to stay lit forever.
It's against the rules, I'm sure.
Try and save one little skeleton ghost baby. Oh, we got a couple. Come on, guys.
The chosen.
New friends.
No, they got stuck. No. I can't. No.
Goodbye.
Oh, well. Oh, we're about to miss the boat. Okay, we're good.
Oh snap! We don't want to miss our boat here.
Yeah, the little skeleton ghost guys are fun to just have you. You can have them basically tail Jack around for a long time if they play nice and don't
Just
get
to make him
stuck.
feel-
Yeah, so we got some friends.
Make him feel like he has followers, admirers. that
Exactly.
kind of thing. Yeah. It would be really cool if y'all followed and admired RIP WSB here on Twitch. The link is pinned right here on our Twitch channel. Why don't you give RIP a follow if you're having fun with us?
If you're really having fun, just play the game. It's a good time.
True. Big true. Now, you're playing this on PC, correct?
PlayStation actually, PS4, yeah.
Please? Oh, PS4. Okay.
I think it's basically
So
on anything though at this point.
Okay, yeah. It's out there for the gamers on a couple of different platforms. That's good news.
Currently on a couple of sales, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Summer sales have been going on.
Yeah.
Have y'all been playing any new games for the summer, aside from Pumpkin Jack?
I've been playing old favorites.
They talk about Katamari.
Yeah. He even said
okay.
I could bring up Katamari as much as I wanted to. I've been really trying to hold it back. But just really fun, chill games. Which it was on
Huge
sale.
shout outs to Katamari.
Yeah.
That game's so fun
yeah.
and weird.
It is so weird.
It is.
Banging
Katamari
soundtrack
is,
is. I love when you play that game because it's so fun.
Yeah, we'll turn that up.
When are we gonna see the Katamari jams on the DJ set?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he's dancing to.
I'm sure. So this is
Maddie.
the witch that now stole Jack's head. Turns out, haha, it was a joke on us. They don't actually care about us.
Wow. Relatable.
They're like, hey, we actually need your head for an ingredient. And now they're trying to kill Jack's body. So the crow has control over Jack's body.
I think Jack is even like, I can't be mad because like you did what I do. So it's like,
I mean, yeah,
GG's,
it's like
yeah.
playing him at his own game.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, he fooled the devil and then they fooled Jack, so yeah, it was meant to be. So yeah, now the crow's just trying to follow them and give chase and not lose Jack, which is really loyal of the crow, actually.
Well,
Honestly, I like the crow so far.
Yeah.
the Crow's, I think, MVP.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. This is a shining moment, though, honestly.
Yeah. What's up, the Dukes?
Yeah, like it's kind of like it seems like this is kind of a boss fight. It's very cinematic.
It's also surprisingly tricky with the depth perception.
I died so many times on my first playthrough of this game.
Oh my God.
In
Yeah.
this section. This one really stood out because I would try and dodge stuff and then just run to the sides and die and then take enough damage from the little orb thingies enough. It was something. This is one of the only boss fights with actual RNG on it, which is kind of nice. Although not if you're on a good run and get screwed, but
Right.
whoops.
I was gonna say RNG and nice. Do they go in the same sentence? I need to know more.
Yeah, so
You get the good RNG.
this has been some pretty good RNG.
Yeah.
The green potion bottles are ones that you can hit into these eyes. The red ones you hit and they explode in your face. And
Green good, red bad.
yeah, it's classic, right? Everybody knows that. So we kind of have a couple of stages of this tree, and we just try to continuously poke these eyes until we get Jack back.
Sometimes you can get both of those. Those two eyes are spread out just enough, but sometimes you can hit them both with one potion.
So if Jack's not here, the crow and the sword are kind of trying to get him back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like the
They're working together.
crow's, I think, just taking over Jack's body. Because Jack is just the pumpkin, basically. But he can control the body when he's on it, I guess. So now that,
Right.
I guess the crow can do the same with his body. I don't know.
Even though he's not even like physically connected to the body.
We'll roll with it. Oh,
Right? I mean, if I were the crow, I probably wouldn't even do this boss fight. But
He's a gamer. Yeah. So there's Jack. And we saved him.
yay!
Now we get a gun.
Oh snap! What is that?
Really stepped up.
It's a cannon.
And now we're that was kind of the end of the trail of breadcrumbs that we were following. And so Jack and the crow, they hear some, oh, that's our wizard.
Yeah.
That's our guy that we've been just kind of breezing over.
Neglecting, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm sure he'd be pretty offended by. But we hear some cannons off in the distance and some fight and some war. And Jack's like, that sounds interesting. Let's go check it out. So now we are in Skeletown, which is, just as like a viewer, one of my favorite places.
It's a good name.
Right? Yeah. And it has my favorite boss as well. Just a really fun
The
boss.
boss is pretty good. I do enjoy all the bosses in this game, I will say.
Yeah, they have really good character designs.
This jump's kind of
So we have to make our way to the top of this tower to get to the next boss, presumably.
I think we're just kind of like trying to get to the center of this town.
Okay.
It's kind of a Hail Mary for them. They really don't know where it's going to go or like what, because they were just duped and they're like, let's just go check out this war-torn town.
Yeah, after the swamp didn't really yield any results.
Yeah.
We're just kind of grasping at straws here. Grabbing some skulls along the way, as one does.
Yeah, I didn't notice this at first, but every time you get one, it just says skull get, and I think it's a good touch, so thanks for that.
Maybe that's what crashed the PC.
Oh my god. Too many skulls were got.
There's a couple of them where it doesn't say Skullgate, and that's on me.
Yeah, big shout outs to Siebes for hitting the space bar every time.
Aw, that's so cool. I didn't even realize you were doing that, Siebes. Good job.
No, I've missed quite a few, but thank you.
Cheap entertainment for ourselves, but
It really is.
Yes, gosh. I mean, I'm easily entertained, but I'm having a great time with the two of you.
That's part of the reason why I've missed a couple. Like, oh, we're just kind of hanging out, chilling.
I mean, yeah, you know, and it's cool because I think that this game, Pumpkin Jack, really does kind of aesthetically remind me of Ori. So I'm gonna enjoy seeing these two games back to back for sure.
yeah, it was really cool seeing that was going to be the other game.
Also, I didn't realize that came out in 2020. It
Yeah.
felt like just yesterday. So the fact that
Right?
it came out 4 years ago.
I'm actually curious how long Ori and the Blind Forest fans had to wait for Will of the Wisps. Ori came out in 2015.
Whoa.
Wow, okay.
Wow.
So they had to wait just a couple years, but pretty cool that they made a second one.
Enough years, though.
Yeah, it's another one we definitely want to go back and play through again.
Yeah, remind me, is it a co-op game as well, Ori?
That I don't know. I hope so.
Yo, if it is.
I say it aloud because I know Richard will know the answer.
He says there's a mod, so
Ooh, okay.
we'll be getting
okay.
that.
Okay, thanks, Richard.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention we can walk through water for this level.
Yes.
What is it? I think we try and time a jump so we're right above the water as the cutscene starts, and then there's like a brief moment of invulnerability after the cutscene ends. So I think it's when Jack's going into the water as the cutscene ends. We're invincible for a second, and then we kind of break through the water death barrier. And so for the rest of the level, as long as we don't die or restart a checkpoint or respawn, then we can just kind of walk through water. All right, we are at...
Now, do you have to keep the inputs pressed, or you can stop in the water now?
Oh yeah, we're like, we can kind of do
Oh,
whatever.
okay. Oh, nice.
The enemies can still hurt us. Fire still hurts us. So everything but water basically is like normal. And like we can even take a sip from the cauldron, which those you can heal yourself. Oh, I didn't need to. We'll do it anyway. And like it'll do a save
Take a
point.
sip.
So it's basically the same level, but you can walk in water. And unfortunately, it doesn't work for the swamp, which would be awesome because that whole level is water. And it doesn't work for one of the later levels, which also has a bunch of water.
That's interesting. I wonder if it's like the levels themselves, or is there no...
I think so, because
Okay.
the water in this level seems to be like really shallow compared to... I don't know. I don't know if anybody ever like really figured it out.
Right, it would require more testing,
Yeah.
I guess.
But we're just glad it works on at least this level.
And you call that...
curious,
Oh, sorry, please.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, you call this Zombie Jack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Which I kind of love.
Zombie Jack. I was kind of curious, like, what got you interested in this game in the first place, Riff? What made you decide to pick it up and speedrun it?
I don't know. I think it was,
Hey, that's an
it was a
answer.
game I had heard about and then finally got a chance to play. And it was pretty fun casually, but I'd always heard it was a good speedrun and just happened to look into it. And there were some really good guides made by, when I joined, there was a good set of guides made by a runner named Crane. And then also Extro had made a 100% guide. And between
nice.
the
That sounds
guides
cool.
and then everybody just being super helpful and stuff, and just the speedrun being a lot of fun, it was hard to put down.
So they were nice to you from the get-go.
Oh yeah, they were all the runners super helpful anytime you needed any advice, because I was playing on PlayStation. I think a lot of people were playing on PC, so there were a few times where I was like, is this possible on console? Because I know a lot of those types of games, there's FPS stuff, and it was just me. So we got it worked out. Figured out how to play the game.
Cool. So the runs aren't too different from PC and like PS4?
Not really. Once you get to the new game plus stuff, once we really got a hold of doing a lamp boost while holding the weapon wheel, that can be kind of crazy at higher frames. So there's some slight differences, but for the most part, I don't think there's really any difference between any of the consoles and PC on 100% category, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, that is really nice. It kind of evens the playing field for the runners.
And like some things are easier at lower frames, some things are easier at higher frames. So each kind of has its pros and cons.
Definitely. Oh my gosh, are we under Skelly Town?
Oh yeah, we're.
Don't worry, townsfolk. This is perfectly normal. Stay in your homes. Do not be alarmed by the man with the pumpkin head that is glowing and running rampant through this.
Has a gun, yeah.
Wait, he has a gun now? Oh my god.
Just walking through walls and...
Oh right, he does, the bazooka or whatever
Yeah.
it is. I don't think you told
Like
me
a
what it
hand
was.
cannon or something, or shotgun. Yeah, that's the nice thing about 100% as
big
well
one.
as you can just kind of go wherever you want. There's no limitations on what's in and out of bounds, so you can use any and all skills and glitches and whatnot.
Sick.
Yeah, so this boss just hates humans. Hates humans. And senses a little bit of remnant humanness in Jack. So just attacks him. He's just kind of a mindless warmonger here. But yeah, this is the character design that I enjoy. It just kind of cracks me up.
And Jack does tell him, like, bro, we're on the same team, and it's like, if you attack me, I'm gonna kick your butt. So we do.
He doesn't understand.
We tried.
Just like you smell like human, me kill.
Yeah, that was like line for line.
Thank you.
Are you Nicholas? You
Oh my god.
developed this game?
No, but hi Nicholas.
We got the T-pose in the back. Always a good time.
Oh my gosh. I couldn't see it because of the lava at first. That's too good.
Yeah, some of my favorite speed strats are just finding the sweet spot in the boss fight where you don't get hit.
Yeah.
That's always a treat to see.
That was another thing in the
yeah.
casual playthrough. Like, all the bosses seemed pretty difficult, and that was the other thing. Like, the combat in general, I found to be surprisingly difficult. Maybe I just was having a rough day the day I played, but when I learned that the speedrun, you just kind of skip everything. I was like, okay, I like that. Maybe we do look into this game.
It can be a little addicting, just like learning the strats and going fast.
Yeah.
True.
And again, like what Seeps was saying, just kind of messing with lamp boost and just going all over the place and basically finding any lamp you can and seeing where you end up. Just doing that for hours at a time.
Seeing what's possible.
Yeah.
I don't think I've noticed the T-pose before. That's pretty good. He was already my favorite, but that really clenches it.
But like it looks intended.
Yes, yeah.
I think that's why it's so great.
Right? As if we're supposed to be like intimidated.
Yeah. Channeling the power.
This is one of my favorite songs in the game as well. I think.
Yeah.
And that's why it's my favorite level. What's your favorite level, Rip? Is it the north?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the very last level, we still have 2 more to go, but the very last level is a bunch of these floating platforms, and a lot of them have lamps, and it's just a lot of flying around. So yeah, it's kind of hard to beat.
And so
The tides are finally.
so we have a scythe now?
We have a scythe.
Okay. And any special or abnormal things with this scythe that we should know about?
Not really.
Okay, standard scythe,
Yeah.
very
It
cool.
just looks cool.
Too great. Yeah. Just a classic scythe ability.
Just your standard Halloween issue scythe, no big deal.
I do like how each game has their own little scythe design to it. Something that comes up. So this is the spooky cemetery, which has opened up after we killed that last boss, who's named Door.
Gravekeeper
Door.
over here that we're just gonna ignore for now.
Yeah.
You're cool, but we don't have time to talk to you.
Oh.
Get.
There's quite a few skulls in this opening area, which is kind of nice because you don't have to worry about trying to remember where something is when they're all just piled up.
I didn't realize the game also has a little indicator that you've collected it right in the middle of the screen.
Yeah,
That's helpful.
and if you pause, you can see how many you have, so it helps keep track a little bit. That's still probably the hardest part of 100%, and that probably goes with a lot of games. It's just remembering to grab everything. All right, so we switch to the spear because there's an invisible platform up here. We can just roll attack with the spear and ignore what the Gravekeeper usually requires of us.
Getting up that
Nice.
tree is a lot harder than Rip made that look, so good job there.
Yeah, GG on that.
Back on the gets.
I remembered. Yeah, there's also this audio cue, which helps me remember.
Oh, not part.
Some of these jumps look kind of very particular to time, even in the air. Like, do you find that it is like that and it's tough to time it?
Sometimes, yeah. And then sometimes if you just rush a setup, you don't really get as far onto the lamp that you normally do. And the positioning on top of the lamp really affects the launches.
That's so wild. It's like, yeah, launch straight from the lamppost.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at
Very
the
cool.
positioning of his feet, right?
Yeah.
On the lamppost? Yeah.
And so depending on where you
Oh, that's your visual.
yeah, depending on where you are, can give different results. The like hitbox for getting a good launch is pretty big. Like it's pretty lenient, but you do occasionally get weird launches. You sometimes get a reverse launch, which is really hard to do normally. But
Yeah, I bet.
once you kind of get an idea of the area you should be, it's usually pretty good. Oh yeah, the music just like randomly cuts out in this auto scroller for some reason.
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh.
This high-speed cemetery escape, I guess.
Yeah, instead of our trusty steed, we get a gargoyle this time around.
Yeah. Play some Flappy Bird.
Oh, is that kind of how it's controlled?
Yeah, you press X to make
funny.
him go up, and then he just like slowly goes down if you don't.
Oh, I would be messing this section up so
You just
badly.
like drag him through the ground.
Oh no, be careful.
Which there's in most of the other categories, there's a pretty big lamp boost before this section. So it was kind of like the reward if it worked was to keep him from getting hit, and if it didn't work, you just like hit him through all the gates and just beat Jack up to tell him thanks for not doing the lamp boost correctly.
You made me do this.
How could you make me do this, Jack?
So we do talk to the Gravekeeper this time, but we're still not going to do what he wants.
Bird makes a good hat. Flappy Bird right there.
Drop down, you get this skull, and then this is probably one of the harder things to learn when I first started. And it's a lot of trying to land on things, which is pretty tough in this game. We start with the grave, then we go to the tree, then we go to the branch, then we go to the branch, then we go to the statue,
Oh.
then we go to the branch again, and then a tricky double jump up to the top of the bridge. All right, we made. Oh, did.
But we believe in you. You got this.
While everything's trying to kill you from below.
It does look very tough.
Yeah, they're ruthless.
Monsters.
How could you?
So they can hit you right out of the air even when you're trying to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, the little, those guys shooting stuff at you are definitely pretty annoying. All right, third time's the, fourth time's the.
That wasn't like
Is
a
it
real
like,
one.
is it helpful to kill them just to like, so you can have more time to think, or it's not really?
Usually it's probably not a bad idea to do that, actually.
But that takes time.
Oh, right. I'm like, just, let's leisurely stroll through this. Like, I don't mind, really.
And fortunately, this isn't the hard part. So hopefully the hard part is going to be easy once we get to it. Okay. Land there. Take this nice and slow. Because there's a vibration every time Jack lands. There we go.
Yay. All
All
right.
right, then we jump to the invisible wall, and then this is the scary part. This part is tougher on console than PC, I will say that. On PC, I think you can just jump straight up, but on console, you have to like go around something, which is always scary.
And then you quit out and you're on the other side of the gate.
Yeah. So you get that save point from beyond the gate, and then
Wow, GG.
brings you back
That was
in.
tough looking.
Get a few more skulls here. Get a nice tower climb, and then we get you getting skulls.
I was a little late on that one.
Swap to the sword, do a zip line. Look at the crow trying to keep up.
Well, this looks very 2013 Tomb Raider. That was cool.
It could have been one of the inspirations. He said there was many games. Oops.
Oh, I'm sure. Ooh, nice one.
So that skull was blacked out because of those enemies, but we go past it, get the checkpoint, and then we can pick it up now. I wonder what this run would be like if you actually had to fight everything.
Oh,
I wonder how much longer and tougher it would be.
whoa.
There are like some like super max percent enthusiasts out there. Time will tell if they provide us with the answer.
It's not gonna be you though.
No. Alright, so we're in the final area of this level. And it's this big ruins of a cathedral. There's all these entities working on it. And apparently this guy right here was it the architect of hell? Is that what his
Yeah,
name is?
which is pretty cool.
An architect, you said?
Of
Yeah.
hell, yeah.
Oh, of hell. My goodness. Such a high honor to design hell. Oh my God.
So he's been tasked by the devil to wait for us because he can make a portal that will help us follow the wizard. Because the wizard came through here a couple days ago, and so he's been just fixing up the church in the meantime, and he's able to duplicate himself, which is pretty cool. But
Very
he
convenient.
needs some power to make a portal for us to follow the wizard. So there's 7 statues around this cathedral, and they hold the 7 deadly sins. And if we release all those back into the world, then it'll provide enough power to open that portal. This is a little bit of a tricky lamp boost. Please work, thank you.
Sounds like dangerous business.
So instead of breaking all the statues, we're just gonna land in the final boss fight and pretend we did everything else.
So we only see one of the 7 deadly sins. This is gluttony,
Anyone hungry?
right? So naturally, knives.
Pumpkin pie anymore? Dude, pumpkin pie slaps. That's really good.
I agree with that. I'm ready for pumpkin pie season.
Yeah, it's seeing this game especially, it gets me excited for fall. I'm ready for the fall time.
It's really fun when around Halloween time, this game gets a lot more action casually. And
oh my gosh, I bet.
Yeah, and it's always really fun to watch people play this casually. So there's just a lot of pumpkin jack to be had around Halloween time.
Oh,
which is
must be Halloween time.
Yeah. Do y'all usually dress up and kind of celebrate Halloween?
Yearly my job has a costume contest, and usually I'm not a very competitive person, but I guess in this case I do get pretty competitive. So yeah, I tend to dress up, and I like making Halloween costumes. I kind of just usually dress up as different animals, though. It's nothing too exciting, but...
Are you a dresser upper?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Nice.
I wasn't live on camera last Halloween, but you better believe I was dressed as Britney Spears.
Oh, there we go.
That's great. Which era of Britney Spears?
It was Baby One More Time, Britney.
Oh,
Nice.
classic right there.
Absolute classic.
Top tier Britney.
That's a
right
time
there.
capsule costume.
Ooh.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I just need to keep going. I'll do some kind of Oops, I Did It Again Britney this year.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so even though we had to use a
what?
skull to open a gate, it still counts, and we still have all the skulls. Luckily, there's that little jingle when you pick up the 20th skull.
Oh, that's helpful.
So yeah, sometimes it's like, did I get everything? And then if you grab what you think is the last skull and you hear that, you're like, oh, thank God. Okay, we're good.
Like instant confirmation.
Yeah.
We always love it.
And we get to celebrate with a gramophone.
And then
Hit me, baby, one more time.
Yeah, we need a Jack playlist over here.
We'll just put it with nothing but like pop divas. It'll be great.
Let's be honest. That's what he's listening
hey,
to.
I was gonna say that's what he wants.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're not even guilty pleasures. They're just pleasures for him.
He's a glutton for good music.
It ties in with the theme. Where are we headed now?
I do like how the architect of hell is just kind of busy waiting around, and he's like, I'm gonna fix up this cathedral. Like, architects can't help but to architect.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I'm not doing anything else at the moment, so
Yeah, this place looks... Oh yeah, we're in the north. Wow, that happened fast. So yeah, he does open up the portal for Jack. We step on through, and we went from Halloween to more Christmas.
You can actually
Nightmare Before Christmas enjoyers. Let's go.
Yes,
kill
here.
Santa Claus in this game if you want to.
Oh my gosh, can you really? No way. That's too funny.
Jack does what other Jack could not do.
He's clearly the best Jack.
Yeah.
So wait, there's been multiple Jacks?
Jack Skellington, as in...
I see.
Yeah.
I got you now.
It's tough because we're playing Pumpkin Jack, so
So many Jacks.
there's so many Jacks. What do we do?
Something about holidays and Jacks.
All right, so this is the one time we're gonna try and do a reverse lamp boost on purpose. This one, man, oh, it worked. Okay.
Nice.
Sounds so surprised.
I always am when it works.
Let's
Please
go.
don't die. Oh yeah, I need to get a skull first. Hold up.
Oh, yes.
And since we didn't get a save point, it's kind of scary until we get the next one, because if we die, we go back before the reverse lamp boost. So hopefully nothing weird happens.
All right, fingers crossed.
I think we've done all the weird stuff already. We've like used up the weird.
Yeah. Play this extra safe. Okay. Gotta save, thank you. And then our last skull that is tied to a fight that we actually have to beat people up.
Use that scythe. You got it.
Drop down the skull. Land on the barrel.
Oh. They're setting the floating islands on fire. What do we do?
And then this is another... So the north is really fun, but the north also has really difficult things to do. So this one's kind of precise. This may take a few tries. Or not. Please don't miss. Okay, we're good.
Nice.
Hey.
So that is a small example of the menu lamp boost. Where you can get...
Very cool.
I guess since the game slows it down, the lamp boosts seem to work because when you attack things with like any sort of weapon, I guess not every object, but a lot of objects will move, and that's kind of what shoots Jack off. That item movement or object movement. And then
okay.
I guess it's just like amplified when you have the weapon menu open and everything just gets really exaggerated, and then you get like these super crazy launches. And then that's where on very high frame rates you move basically at like supersonic speed. And it's really wild at 120 and up.
Imagine there's pros and cons to that.
Yeah. So basically, we shot Jack to a very far ahead checkpoint, and we're backtracking to pick up all these other skulls. And since we already got the furthest ahead checkpoint, all these skulls are just waiting to be picked up. There's no enemies. You don't have to fight anything. It's just collect and keep moving on, which is kind of nice. Because if you came from the other way, you'd have to go through sections, deal with enemies, do certain things to make the skulls show up. So as long as we don't die, we're okay.
You've got to find that just a little annoying, having to like trigger the, I guess, section for the skull to load. It's like, why aren't you just there?
Yeah.
It's even like darked out a little bit.
Yeah.
You can see it, you just can't grab it.
Floats.
It's just like taunting you.
Yeah, exactly. Do a few more lamp boosts just for fun. Running out of lamps to boost.
We're like in Christmas Town now, or
Yeah.
Halloween Town, or both.
And one of those buildings is where you do... Oh, please don't die. Okay. So in this level, the Pumpkinhead mini games is where you interact with Santa Claus. And I think you like spin into presents and just shoot the presents back at him. It's been a while since I played it, so I may or may not be accurate, but something to do with Santa, yeah.
Yeah.
And you have found his house out of bounds as well, right? Where it's just like floating in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was... Let's see. I think we can get to it.
Sometimes they like leave the assets in there, or if it's like a cutscene placeholder kind of thing.
It definitely feels like that. And then you're like, wait a minute, this is Santa's house.
I mean, maybe just an Easter egg, you know? We're coming for you, Santa. Watch out.
Because there's Santa's house, and then there's also like a portal.
Oh,
Please. No.
Oh, this...
All right, there's the portal. I'm not going to do that again, but Santa's house is beyond the portal.
It's in the North Pole, everybody.
yeah, you were zooming.
Yeah, that was wild.
See if we could
oh my
get over there to
gosh.
see him, but we tried.
Thank you for trying. Wow.
We tried.
I'm pretty sure Santa's happy about this, though. He's like, oh,
Gets
that
to live.
evil pumpkin didn't come and visit me. Thank goodness.
Tree.
Okay.
There are some flashing colors in this part if you are sensitive to that, this may not be great. But this is
red
the
and magenta?
Yeah, this is the kind of auto-scroller section of this level.
So are we in the portal?
Yeah, this is, I guess, going portal to portal. That's hard to say.
Oh, okay.
Portal to portal.
Portal,
Yeah.
portal to portal.
Portal. Yeah, it is.
This is.
It's like,
Oh, sorry.
oh no, I was just saying it's like when you say a seemingly normal word over and over again, and then it just doesn't
Turns
even sound like a
into
word
an
anymore.
alien word, yeah.
That I'll
Yes.
do that just for fun. But yeah, that portal you can die in. You can hit those trees and those boxes, and that was another part where, like, just for fun, I was like, I'm gonna try. Just died like a trillion times.
Yeah, if you're not, like, I circle around the edges, but if you actually try and dodge stuff, it's so difficult. I don't know
Yeah.
if I've made it through without dying.
Yeah, like the best is to just circle around the edges and pray.
Some people do like figure eights, but yeah. And maybe we just aren't great at video games.
Yeah, probably not. That's all right. We still enjoy them.
I think that you're great at video games, or you wouldn't be here, right?
Well, you're good at this game and a
Good
couple,
enough, we'll take it.
and a couple others.
Let's try and not die. What's going on?
Santa sabotage.
Yeah,
This is payback. I don't blame him.
truly. There's this skull here, and then one more, and
There,
that's
hopefully all of them.
all of them. Yeah, because you already got the gramophone for the north.
This is Santa's workshop. We can at least talk to him.
Yeah, that's totally Santa. The Santa we all know and
Yeah.
love, right?
So instead of doing the little mini game, we're just gonna jump over his house, basically, or his workshop.
Oh yeah, there's candy canes and everything. This is definitely
Yeah.
Santa's place.
Yeah, they're sticking out all over the place.
And now it's gone.
Oh my god, what happened to Santa's house? Rip, what did you do?
As soon as you step to the other side, it just.
Signed a non-disclosure. I can't talk about it. It's not Christmas
enough.
anymore.
It's not Christmas. Christmas may not be that.
Yeah.
We don't know. We're not sure.
We're just gonna have second Halloween.
I'd be okay
Oh, no,
with that.
I think the people would. I think the people would like that.
I would. I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with it too.
You could just like a Halloween every month.
Yeah,
Yeah.
monthly Halloween.
Yeah.
Do like a
absolutely.
monthly themed. Each one has a different theme, so at least there's some difference. But
You're onto something here.
Yeah, like maybe we could incorporate the seasons in some way.
ooh, yeah,
Ooh,
we got options.
spring Halloween.
Fashion. Yeah,
weird.
fashion runway, flower pumpkins. I don't know.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna fight the wizard now. Whole game's led up to
Oh.
this moment.
Oh snap! Okay, let's go.
Yeah, he has this amulet that he's been trying to activate to try and get rid of the curse, but he's been unsuccessful.
And then back in the mines, there was the tablet on top of the mountain where the amulet was supposed to have been. And apparently the wizard, like, there's a bunch of instructions on how to use the amulet, and he had scratched out like the very last instruction, which is that you need a pure human soul to make the amulet work. So the wizard has not been able to make the amulet do anything. He's kind of distraught. He's like, is my soul not good enough? But here's Jack, and he's basically a pure human soul stuck in a pumpkin. So he's like, maybe if I kill Jack and take his soul, the amulet will work.
This is another strat.
Interesting theory.
I love that you can just stand here and
That's so weird.
not take damage.
Yeah, this was probably the toughest of all the bosses, without being cheap.
Yeah.
and knowing what to do.
And then when you watch people casually and they really struggle with it, and you don't want to ruin their fun and just be like, oh no.
Because they're like trying to jump through the holes and up the wall, and you're like, oh, I've been there. I know. It's so hard, but you're doing it.
Yeah, you don't think like, what if I just stand still and do nothing?
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. I was like, wait, you're not jumping. How's this working? But
Yeah. I think most bosses in this game have a phase like that, though, where if you just stand
Yeah, just kind of chill, wait it out. I wonder if we can. Okay, there we go.
I kind of like the visuals for this boss. Like the attacks are a bit interesting.
Yeah, and then you gotta destroy these these little beacons here. But if you don't do it fast enough, then it kind of starts all over. And there was another time where I thought, hey, I'm just gonna try and beat this boss. And I couldn't kill the beacons fast enough, so I just got in this endless loop of trying to beat this guy.
Aw.
But
you beat him eventually.
Probably not.
all the bosses have like the classic 3-phase kind of setup to them.
Yeah, I do like that Nicholas has taken things that we feel familiar with, like in a lot of these 3D platformy games, the 3-phase bosses and these kind of like puzzle type elements, but has put like just a fun little spin on it.
Yep.
Oh, definitely.
Huge shout outs to them for making the game, everybody that helped them. The composer made a good soundtrack. Huge shout outs to, oh yeah, time is coming up pretty soon. I forgot to mention that. I think this is the final work through. I think this is phase 3. So when this kind of cuts to, okay, that should be time. Yep. Big shout outs to everybody in the Pumpkin Jack speedrunning community. BT, Jaxler, he's found some really cool stuff recently. Crane, Extra with the awesome videos and tutorials. Tolat, he did some runs for some Finnish marathons, and I think he's done 100% runs, just never submitted them. So shout outs to you for doing that. Shout outs to Siebes for being here. You got any shout outs? Shout outs to Katamari.
Yeah, always.
Always.
Also, an artist named Yours Mexi made the little jack dab, so thank you for that. Little artist shout out.
And then what I find to be the best part is in the credits you get to see like kind of the development of this game from 2016 through 2020.
Oh,
and see like how far it came.
That's so cool.
New spooky.
That's so cool that he decided to include it. Well, thank you so much, Rip, for showing this game off, and Siebes' commentary, excellent. I had a great time with both of you. If y'all enjoyed the run, make sure you follow Rip here on Twitch, twitch.tv/RipWSB. And Siebes, I'm not sure if you stream often, but if you do, it's Siebes5, correct?
That's correct. And if ever I am, it's Rip and I will sometimes speedrun some co-op games, usually on his name. So, that's the Rip WSB is the easiest place to find me.
Nice, yeah. Well, thank you both so much. And I do want to say a big shout out to all of our amazing supporters before we do break. Your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered here on the GDQ Twitch channel help support the Games Done Quick Hotfix. So if you do enjoy watching this show or any of our other Hotfix shows, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can always learn more about everything Hotfix at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. And if you do want to be a little more involved in our community, please feel free to join us in the official Games Done Quick Discord. You can add yourself to the Hotfix role and keep tabs on upcoming events, talk with staff and showrunners, and more. So if that interests you, you can use the command !Discord right here in our Twitch chat for more information. We will be right back with Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So all right, everybody, welcome back to the Games Done Quick Hotfix. You are watching Time Capsule. We just had an awesome run of 2020's Pumpkin Jack, and we are all set to go for Ori and the Will of the Wisps. So please welcome our runner, Bellers.
Hi, my name's Bellers. I'm running Ori and the Will of the Wisps, Metroidvania/platformer. I'm a world record speedrunner, and I'm going to be showing off ACF today, or All Cell Fragments, where our goal is to get all of the energy and health fragments in the game and then just beat Shriek. I'm joined by my co-commentators, Seal and 2Kill. Seal is a MQO legend and a very fast runner, and 2Kill is a rando fiend.
Yeah, hi.
Thank you both for joining us as well.
And I'm just going to be running some Ori. We are going to just get into the countdown and just get started. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Okay,
Nice, good luck.
So this is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. We're gonna skip all the lore, so if you were expecting lore in this gorgeous game, don't get your hopes up. So skipping 10 minutes right off the bat, skipping the prologue, we're into the game. And one important thing to note about this category is that this is an RTA optimized category, so we're not going to see a whole lot of quit to menus to normally save time because we're comparing in-game time, but instead we're just going to see this gorgeous game in all its glory without interrupted by pausing. And this is the starting area. We only have jump and run pretty much, but we're already getting started collecting Spirit Light, which we'll need later for various upgrades. And this is our first weapon. We're not going to have it for long, but it's going to be very helpful here.
Yeah, so early on here with Torch. Torch, yeah, as 2Kill said, we don't have it very long, but it is very broken. With repeated slashes of the Torch, we can make Ori very, very, very floaty, which is definitely not intended. It will allow us to skip a combat arena in just a second to see Bells come up to the first kind of trick of the game here. Getting this one first time, nice. So we skip the combat arena, that saves about a minute. We're going to be doing a very, very, very finicky jump coming up here to get this first keystone. First time again, nice one, Bellas. And then we're going to go and do an intentional damage time to get back over to the right-hand side to continue our journey. So yeah, this nice job at Bellas for that one. This is the first nubby part, especially the keystone jump. Like, are you doing this in a run? Yeah, definitely something to get. Gonna be feeling good getting that first time.
Definitely the largest source of resets. Definitely. So it's really nice getting there through that first try.
Yeah, very nicely done. And we are completing some quests here. They are not going to be very important to us because this is neither main quest order nor 100%, so we don't bother too much about it. But we're hitting our first keystone door, and you can see our first boss in the background. So we need to extinguish our torch here because otherwise we'll soft lock because we're not supposed to have it, right? So we're heading into our first escape here. Since we only have jump and run, it is a fairly straightforward escape, but just appreciate the music here. Like, the fact that they have all this music and all these little sound effects for this little side boss is just so fun, because we will never see him again. We will see him once, and he will not be in a good state. But for now, we're heading into this boss fight pretty straightforward. We hit him once to the left and then do some upswings. Unfortunately, Bellers got some pushback, but nicely done. This is our first boss fight done, and yeah, we are heading straight to our first ability that we're actually gonna keep.
Yeah, so that was Hal. He's like the friendly neighborhood dog, I guess. He just comes to say hi, wants to give us some pets. We give him some pets back with a flaming torch. Don't worry about that one, it's fine. Yeah, so our first ability here we're going to be grabbing is the sword, and we'll be getting very excited. Oh, a sword! We're going to be doing loads of combat, right? Nope. Sword is another weapon where we're going to be using it for a lot of movement tech. Combinations of different slashes will allow us to gain more horizontal and vertical distance than we otherwise would be able to get. And Bells is going to be using that in various parts of the run to speed up tech, get to places you shouldn't normally be able to get. Going for this extremely difficult trick right here. Nice one. Have to use a little bit of pulse there, but that is sword hover or sword tree hover. It saves like 3 seconds, and if you screw it up, it costs 30 seconds. I would never go for this on any broadcasted run, but Bells just does it every time anyway. Absolute monster.
Yeah, basically what you need to know about this game is that every weapon is usable as a movement option, and every weapon interacts with every other weapon in an interesting and weird way. So we will see that first instance actually in combination with another movement skill that we're gonna get here, which is double jump. It does what it says. You get a second jump in the air. And we're gonna use that immediately to gain some more spirit light here to the right of us. So we'll see that like you can interrupt your double jump with a sword, and it basically contains your movement, so it allows us to get a bit higher like this. And yeah, we're on to our next section of the run. Basically what you need to know is we need to have 400 spirit light when we leave this kind of starting area to get another weapon from the shop. But upcoming is one other early run killer, which we're gonna see here, which has like 10 different versions to do it, and that is door skip.
Yeah, so we're gonna see here Bells selectively, killing different slimes to gain spirit light. They're about 5 to 6 spirit light each. But yeah, this is Bell skip. Infamously difficult trick. Bells is gonna obviously be going for basically the most difficult version. Gets it first try. That is amazing. Nice job, Bells. That
Oh my god.
is so hard. Not the version that Bellas does. There are not very many aura runners who can do that. Most people go for a safer strat just because of how risky it is to do it that way and how precise you have to be. Bellas making it look easy, as he always does.
Definitely a collective sigh of relief after that skip. That skip is a brutal run killer.
Oh gosh, I bet.
Yeah, and we just saw the first instance of picking up a health cell fragment. So as you can see, our health and energy are still staying the same because this game actually has so many pickups that you only get a new health and energy cell after 2 pickups. And that's exactly why this run is called all cell fragments instead of all cells, because we're not actually gonna get all cells. By the end of the game, you will see 16 out of 20 for both health and energy fragments, energy cells. And that is because normally if you do the bosses, you also get a health and energy cell each. But those are slow, we don't want to do them, so we're not, and we just called the category accordingly. So instead of all cells, it's just called all cell fragments. But for now, we're killing some more slimes. Remember, we want to hit 400, so there's one more slime to kill, and we have that. We're taking a quick detour here for a shard, so basically an upgrade to our health, energy, whatever. This is basically a damage reducer. That counteracts another shot that we picked up earlier that enhances our damage but also enhances our damage taken. So now we have our 400 spirit light and we're heading into our next section, which is over and has a really precise skip here. We're kind of skipping the hitbox of a cutscene by going around. So getting on top here and floating a bit around here, and we're at Sentry. And Sentry and Sword does this. And this is not intentional, it completely breaks the game, and it's gonna be our main movement option for the next 20 minutes, basically.
Yeah, so this is called a Sentry Jump. So using the Sentry costs us energy. Those are these small blue crystals, or like circular crystals on the left side of the UI. Early game, we do have some energy management we need to do. We need to be sentry jumping certain places, so Buzz is going to be very careful about where he is sentry jumping and where he isn't. But yeah, sentry jumping is pretty much an example of one of many different ways where you can combine different skills together in RE and completely break the physics system in the game. It does not like when you do things at the same time or similarly apart, and it gets us some really cool speedrunning tech. So yeah, so as well as talking about sentry jumps, we've now just picked up the bow. We're not going to be using the bow all too much in this run overall. In other categories, it's definitely more prominent. But for now, we're going to be using it to help us solve some puzzles and get through to the next area.
Yeah, this game is very puzzle-oriented, but since we have this super broken movement, we can just ignore all of them, basically. So here we're supposed to find 2 ice stones, which, funnily enough, you might notice we already have 2, because the game counts keystones as ice stones. They are basically the same thing, and since we have an extra one from the door skip earlier, we already have 2. But we want this one extra to basically preserve throughout the entire run, because it saves a bunch of time, because we can put them in the door and collect more after. But we're now into Warlock's Hollow, and yeah, this run is full of tricks. The next trick is coming right up, where we have our 4th health completed now, and with the resilience we picked up earlier, we can do this swim down here that's really unintended. There's a save in the middle that we're trying to hit, and we're getting this extra hit by using our healing ability. So we got the save in the middle and we can go through here. Not intended again, but this saves a lot of time because yet again we do not need to do all the bow puzzles. So we're heading down here, and what's down here? What is so interesting that we want to be here? It's dash.
Yes, as soon as you get dash, you go from being, sort of moving around at a reasonable pace, and as soon as you get dash, you suddenly explode. It's extremely strong horizontal movement. We're also going to be activating a spirit trial here. So spirit trials are sort of like these in-game movement trials that you can use to gain extra spirit light. So with 1,000 spirit light when we complete it. So we've just activated now. We now have to go to the start to perform the spirit trial. We'll be doing that in just a little bit. Yeah, these time trials are never going to be an issue for a runner of Bella's caliber. He'll finish it like twice as fast as his ghostly opponent. But yeah, we're also going to be seeing here what we call moonwalking. Bella's here shooting the bow at the exact precise point where you activate that next tree for a dash. Allows us to completely skip the 15-second animation, and then he intentionally dies to the crusher so we can reset the camera and basically save 7 or 8 seconds there, which is really cool.
Yeah, we're gonna see that all throughout the run for all upcoming trees, or almost all upcoming trees. And now we're heading back up, and as Seal explained, we're heading towards the trial, and that is because it's the fastest way to get all the money we need, because money allows us to buy upgrades for ourselves and also other weapons, and we'll get to the weapons later. But it's very important to note that we need a lot of money, and this takes maybe half a minute to obtain 1,000 spirit light, and there's just no pickup that's worth that much, so we're doing that. And I'm hoping for 16 here. Hopefully Bellers will get 16 seconds here. Oh wow, that was 15 seconds. Wild. Okay.
Right?
That was a fast one.
Let's go.
The world record for that, I think, is 13 seconds or something. So when you're in a run, you're not worrying about that level of optimization because there's some crazy precision in getting that fast.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, 15 is still pretty good. Yeah, so we're going to be doing reverse swim here, where we swam back down, now have to swim back up. Bella's gets the same point in the middle of the water, and then intentionally dies to some spikes, which will increase the amount of iframes you can, so you can complete the swim. And now we're just going to be casually shooting an arrow through the floor. So what's really cool about ACF as a category, it's the newest category in Ori the World of Wisps, and one of the stipulations is we've had no out of bounds categories where Ori cannot go out of bounds and no projectiles can go out of bounds, and we've had out of bounds categories where both Ori and projectiles can go out of bounds, but this is the first no Ori oob category, which is Ori cannot go out of bounds, but we can fire projectiles out of bounds. So what Bells did there was able to actually use a trick with the bow, where if you open the weapon wheel on the frame that the bow is shot, it just goes through the floor and shoots that purple eyeball. That saves us 20 seconds.
Yeah, and we're doing another cutscene skip here for the bash tree. We kind of need to wait for the bash tree to fully play to get the camera back, and now we're heading back up, refilling our energy here by collecting this fragment, and yeah, going our normal way. This is actually mostly intentional, obviously the sentry jumping isn't, but going through this area in this moment is intentional, aside all other things. And here we see our only instance of getting a free health and energy cell simply by playing the story. This is the only instance where this will happen, and yeah, just know that it's there, but we're not gonna do it. And nice cutscene skip. So usually this cutscene activates right here, where you can see the Tomoki pulling the lever. But if you go over the trigger, you can get it to play later, and that saves a bunch of time. So now onto this collectible. This is Gorlek ore, and normally in a speedrun that isn't 100%, we wouldn't be concerned about it. However, there's a single, I think, health cell fragment that's behind. Oh, I think it's energy. That's behind houses, and those houses are built with Gorlek ore. So we need a total of 11 Gorlek ore, one for the teleporter that's here in the Wellspring Glades, and another 10 to build the houses. So we have that one for the teleporter here, and throughout the run we're gonna collect the 10 quickest ones that are on our way. So just keep in mind that we need 10 of those triangular shaped things.
Yeah, for sure. Like, there's a lot going on here. I'm trying to explain some of the stuff we missed. So we've been doing a bunch of shopping here. We have picked up fast travel, which allows us to travel to any spirit world we've already visited. So Bells is going to be going back to one at the very start of the game that appears after you repair the one in town. It's a bit weird, but that's the way it works. So Bells is able to go back and collect a few missing things here. We've also picked up Shuriken. Again, this category is fairly unique for using Shuriken. I think 100% does use Shuriken a little bit, but yeah, one of the short categories that actually makes use of Shuriken, which is very cool. And also, you just saw Bells doing a wave dash, which is something we didn't explain. If you use regen, if you dash into a wall and then turn around and use regen before your dash hits the wall, you just fly in the opposite direction. It's another one of these weird animation things where I don't really understand how it works, but it's used all over the place. So you're going to be seeing Bellas zooming around. Anytime Bellas can basically dash into a solid wall, he's going to be probably using that to wave dash.
Yeah, and right now we're going to chill in the water with our trusty friend right here. So what we're going to do here is a trick called God Mode, and you'll see in a second why it's called that. But we're basically taking this enemy so we can bash him while underwater. And that is important because we are going to die here, so we're gonna run out of breath. And while we are dying to being out of breath, we're gonna bash this enemy. And that sets us in the weird state where if you bash, you have invincibility frames, and we're just gonna permanently keep those. They are gonna stay there until we bash again or quit to menu. So Bellos is going to try and avoid both of these. Hopefully he will not bash by accident, because there are so many things you can bash. And yeah, we basically just got bashed so we can activate this trick. And you can see why it's called God Mode. We can move through everything and anything without taking any damage. And upcoming is another reason why we have the no Ori out of bounds instead of projectiles, so we can use Shuriken to reverse break some of the walls in the game, and that just speeds up our process and also allows us to have a bit more optimized routing. So we're gonna do that. With that we have basically all of Lower Marsh completed, so we can go back to basically our next objective, which is to obtain the most powerful skill in the game. So we're gonna do this. By the way, there's supposed to be a boss here. We're just not gonna see him ever. If you know how to avoid him, you will not see him ever.
Yeah, for sure.
Is the boss chasing you, or?
Oh no, it's a boss fight.
Yeah, there is like a trigger sort of in the middle of his arena, but you can just skip over the top of it if you can get the vertical height, which we can do very easily with sentry jumps.
Right on.
So yeah, it's also worth mentioning, so the way those reverse wall breaks work, and we'll see a few more examples, is the game is pretty well coded and it doesn't want you to break these walls from the wrong side. And if you try and attack them from the front, generally with most weapons it won't do anything, but the Shuriken, like, inconsistently can just like break through and go to the other side of the wall, so the game thinks you're on the right side and it starts dealing damage. Also, this is like the first massively major skip of the game. We're swimming through poison water right now, and if you didn't have God mode, we would just be dead, very dead. We'd be dead within 5 seconds of entering the water. Instead, Bellas can just swim through the whole thing and not really care about it. This skips an entire section of the game. And having to do a bunch of objectives to clean this water. We still will go to those sections because there are cell fragments there that we need to collect, but it allows us to progress through and get some of the more powerful skills, and definitely the most broken skill launch, a lot earlier than we're supposed to.
Yeah, basically what we're currently still trying to do is get all the skills that we need to get to certain parts, to certain fragments. So we're just gonna get all the hard locking skills right at the beginning. And there again, you can see we had our 2 keystones early, so we used them. And yeah, upcoming is another major skip where we skip a lot of the story of the game by going over another cutscene trigger. Wow, nicely done, first try. So here normally we'd get to see our sister again, but yeah. We're not gonna see her a whole lot. So yeah, we're moving through here. This is another trick that was fairly recently discovered in terms of this game. I am not quite sure how it works, but you need dash, sentry, and regen for it to work, and they are called regen as dashes. We are very creative with names.
Pretty much. Yeah, you need to do them on specific sloped surfaces. You can't just do them anywhere, and Bellas knows all the places for all the good ones, so he'll be using that technique when the geometry allows. But yeah, you might be thinking, oh, this point thinking, weren't you supposed to be riding that owl around? Yeah, it's very slow, so we skipped that cutscene. We don't want to spend time riding around on Ku, because it's very slow compared to the normal movement options we have available, and also it forces us to watch a bunch of cutscenes and do a bunch of like law stuff, which again, we don't really have time for any of that stuff. I'm trying to go fast here, so yeah, Bella's absolutely zooming through this area. This is pretty breakneck pace, doing a great job so far. We're gonna see another nice regen sentry dash right there off of the slope to get over this tree. And then we have to do another very important mandatory cutscene skip here. Oh, actually first we're gonna go drop down, sort of like randomly go down here and come back up. We're actually activating a spirit well, which is right below Bella's there. You don't have to get right on it. So here's the cutscene skip, very important to get this one right, so that we can get over a cutscene that would kind of potentially like screw the game up. It's a bit weird. But now we're into another really huge skip here, which I'll let Tukel explain.
Yeah, this is the feeding ground skip. This is the main antagonist of the game, and normally she's trying to kill you here, but if you're not activating her sequence, then you don't care about it, and if you don't touch the ground, you don't even get the cutscene attached to it. So nicely done here, first try. I know that Bellas was a bit worried about this, because if you screw it up, you need to quit to menu, and you would lose God mode and need to set it back up. So really nicely done. We're now into Windswept Wastes, which is normally, if you play the game casually, the second to last area that you're in. So we're here extremely early, and we're here for one major reason, which is to get the burrow so we can get through the sand that we see everywhere. And that is mainly important because we need to get to the last skill of the game, which is the most powerful one. So another tree here, so we can skip that one again with bow. Didn't quite get it.
It's fine. This is the slowest tree to skip in the game because you have to do some awkward movement right after it. So we're chilling.
So yeah, we're heading back to the teleporter we collected earlier. Yet again, we don't want to touch the ground at the bottom, but everything on the top is fine. And instead, we're just gonna ignore her shriek in the background, going through this wall of sand. Because we're in a no Ori out of bounds category, we have to do that. And we're heading into, actually our first real instance of combat of the run.
Yeah, and also the second to last area of the game casually. Like, we were just in the end game. But don't worry, there's a lot more speedrun to come. We're just coming here to get the broken things, and then we're gonna go collect a bunch of cell fragments. So yeah, so we're gonna see Shuriken combat in action. Not too much to say about it. Bellas still does have God mode, so there's basically no risk of him dying. It's just about how optimal can we be. These second enemies are a little bit more annoying because they have a shield which blocks attacks from the front. So Bellas is going to be trying his best to dash through them. Not too quickly because they'll turn around really quickly, but trying to dash optimally so that you can get as much damage in while they're facing away from him. Pretty nice job on that one. And yeah, we are very, very, very close to getting launch, which is supposed to be the last skill you get, and it completely breaks this game wide open.
Yeah, basically, if you have a grasp of what bash does, launch is bash, but you can bash off of thin air. So it is extremely powerful. You can go into every direction you want from anywhere, and yeah, I think you can understand why we're just beelining there. Basically, everything we're doing now is just using launch to collect all the cells we're missing. So now we're getting into the area where we were supposed to be rather early to clear all the water. But as Seal explained, it's a very slow area, and we just don't want to do that. Also, on another side note, there are some cells we're not going to collect here, or cell fragments, because we are going to get more skills later on that make us even faster in certain areas, because we just have air movement right now. We're going to get water movement later. But yeah, one other important thing to point out is that this game is rather awkward with its animation skipping. The first game allowed animation skipping of these pickup animations after 8 seconds. This game takes 60 seconds. So instead of skipping the animations, we're trying to stack them. So we're gonna try to collect things and stay in the air after we collected them to basically stack them. We saw that with the Godlike ore and the energy cell fragment just before, and we will try to get that a bunch of times throughout the run.
Yeah, definitely. The other thing very worth calling out here is you may be confused what is going on. Why is Bellas constantly opening his weapon wheel? He's using a technique called launch swaps. So launch is already a very powerful ability. You can fly in any direction. We can make it like 3 or 4 times more powerful by using launch swaps. And what launch swaps are is basically you launch, and then the frame after you launch, you open the weapon wheel and unequip launch, and the game like forgets that you're in launch animation after that, and it stops decelerating you. So like the normal thing of a launch is it gives you a bunch of acceleration initially, and then it applies deceleration to you to slow you down so that you're not just flying off continuing forever. But if we unequip launch, the game just forgets to do that, and then you are just flying off continuing forever until you supply some other inputs. So what Bellas will do here is he'll launch, he'll unequip launch very quickly, and then he'll re-equip launch straight afterwards, so he has launch available to use again. So you're going to see like little flashes of the menu come up, and for the majority of the launches he's doing to gain a bunch of extra heightened speed.
Yeah, and luckily we just had a cutscene to explain all of that, and we had to watch this cutscene to be able to get this cell fragment and one other cell fragment here at the bottom. And that's pretty much the entire reason we need to ever enter this area outside of the outside cells. So we're pretty much done here. We're gonna head right out. We're not gonna bother getting the skill of this area because we have launch. We don't need it. It's another movement skill, air movement skill. So instead we're heading to the next area, which is the underwater. It's the water level of the game. Everyone loves the water level of the game, right? And
Right.
since we're not supposed to have dirty water here, it's like dark and you need to know what you're doing. But heading into this area, since you're not supposed to get here without clean water, the water is just cleaner for us, or it looks clean. If we weren't having God mode, we'd take continuous damage, but since we have God mode, we can go here, which is actually like the main reason we have God mode in this run. So instead we're gonna detour here, but to get some more fragments, cell fragments, and then head into that area. And you can see again, Bellows is trying to not touch the ground here, so we can stack the animations. What? Really careful here.
If you stand in hazardous ground, in certain hazardous ground, then you don't enter the animation. So I use that a bit throughout the run and can just step in spikes basically to keep my stacking preserved.
Yeah, because even though ground isn't hazardous for us right now. It's still hazardous in the code. So it doesn't do the thing. So now we're entering into one of the areas that we're only supposed to get into after doing the lore section that we skipped earlier in Woods with our little old friend. So this is definitely not intentional to be here without certain skills, but yet again, we have launch. We don't care. And we're gonna go through this area. This is probably the first area where we're actually gonna full clear everything. Because, yeah, we're going through here, we're collecting everything and collecting some more garlic ore. You can see we're at 4 out of 10 right now. And yeah, we're next up doing a little puzzle here that we unfortunately cannot skip because we do have God mode. And this will activate the teleporter above us as well as allow us to go to the next section. And we're gonna head through an area that we'll see later. It's a combat arena, but it basically has 2 phases. It has a water dashless one and a water dash one, and we only want the water dash one because there's a cell above us that we can only access once we do the water dash part of the arena.
Yeah. So you're seeing Bellas here, be very careful. There's a lot of things in Loomer are designed to be bashed. So obviously we can't bash them because we'll lose God mode and we still need that for a little bit more to run. So Bellas is going to be doing everything except bash them. A bunch of, with launch and some good positioning, things will basically, the little missiles in the water are the things we need to care about the most. We need them to hit certain walls to break those walls so we can get access to things. There's one coming up in a little bit, which is like kind of just like a straight up Kobe moment with how precise you need to be. It's pretty awesome. That one comes up in maybe like a minute or two. Watch out for that one.
Nice.
Yeah. As Bellas is not only an all cell fragment runner, so like it's pretty incredible that he manages to just remember to not bash, even when like things don't quite go perfectly and suddenly there's like an enemy in his face or something. My instincts in every one of these watching this is like, I'm gonna bash. He's gonna bash, but like he always keeps his cool and make sure he doesn't do it, which is honestly kind of impressive in and of itself. If you played Ori a bunch, like the urge to bash is strong.
Oh, I have beaten that muscle memory out of me. I have lost so many runs to accidentally bashing. It is so hard to overcome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just a straight up 1 minute loss. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I wondered, Bellers, is this like your preferred category? This is your favorite?
So my main category is MQO. That's the first one I've gone into, but I really like ACF. It's a lot of fun, and more importantly, it's a lot different from MQO. So you get to just do a bunch of launch swaps, you know?
Yeah, it's wild watching you do this. You're doing amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, so coming up is another puzzle here where we need to activate all of these anemones. And now is the Kobe moment. We kind of want to get this guy in the right position to break a wall for us. And it's very finicky, and Bellis just does it first try. I have seen people lose their minds trying for 10 minutes to get this guy to go in the correct position.
It's unbelievably difficult to manipulate that guy. And Bellas, again, first try. Everything's just first try. It's just...
Well done.
Yeah, and this is one of the other reasons why we need God mode. We need to complete this combat arena, and we yet again would take continuous damage from the water because it's dirty. And yeah, combat is kind of a no issue in Ori. I know it's a more combat focused game than the first one, but realistically the combat is not that hard, especially if you know what you're doing in a speedrun setting. So
and if you can't take damage, that helps.
Yeah, that helps slightly.
Yeah, that also helps. So we're gonna go and do the last part where God mode is pretty much great to use, I think. So this is, as mentioned before, one of the latest areas in the game, and this is where you would, in the story, get the most important story item, I guess. But yeah, we need that. We need to obtain that story item actually, but we're not gonna pick it up, so to speak. and instead we're gonna do some manipulation to not have to do the entire story. So this is the other main reason why why this category is no Ori out of bounds instead of no out of bounds, is because we're gonna get to the last pickup of the game, or the last story pickup of the game, by reverse breaking this wall. So this is only possible with Shuriken, and we're gonna use this to, basically get a very late story item. And there's one cell below us. That's the entire reason we're here. There's one cell fragment below us, and we're gonna watch like 2 minutes worth of cutscenes here. So this is the first cutscene that's like a minute. I don't know, 40 seconds, something like that. Don't worry about the lore. If you want to play the game, we don't spoiler anything. It's just,
Well,
we
this
have
is probably
to watch this, unfortunately.
a little bit of a spoiler, I suppose. It's unskippable, though. We have tried out everything we can to try to skip this like 40-second cutscene.
It's just a little Power Rangers moment. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. I will let you know that.
There's a lot more in this area that we skipped, so.
Yeah, for sure. I will let you know that I have my personal life split on the other monitor, and I'm currently 20 seconds ahead of the world record, so that's pretty cool.
Don't
Wow.
say it.
Just letting y'all
Don't
know.
look at it, Bellers. Don't look.
Listen, you guys have seen a clean run. I've been feeling the clean run. You know, we're feeling comfortable.
It's clean, and the water doesn't need to be that clean.
Yeah, clean and everything except for the water.
The water is very dirty. Yeah, so this is a pretty cool escape sequence if you've played the game casually. Saw the last full escape sequence in the game, and we're gonna see Bella's go through this really quickly. Oh wait, no, we're not. We're gonna see him jump over the worm who's chasing us, and then just sort of sit here for a little bit. We're waiting for an invisible wall to despawn, and we're just gonna leave the way we came because that's quicker than doing the escape.
Yeah, I just want to note that if you play this normally, this is and don't have God mode, this is an instant death plane. But since we have God mode, we don't get killed by it. It just is there as a wall, and then it disappears suddenly. And now we can continue to the end of the escape. So we will see the start and the end of the escape, but nothing in between. So we're just gonna make sure to collect all the pickups here. We're gonna try to stack them some more, because being in the sand doesn't count as being on ground, so we can easily skip them, or at least stack them, and go through here, get another Golek ore on the way. We're on 8 currently, so we need 2 more. Getting this teleporter so we can get the 1 cell in below the cutscene that I mentioned earlier. And yeah, this is one more keystone door here, where we're collecting both the keystones to get through. And yeah, just very clean movement right here. Everything is just looking so clean. And I might note, this is like one area of the run where controller has an advantage, actually. I think now is mouse burrowing in community
It's
patch?
it's not in premium patch. It's just keyboard.
Okay, so you just have 8 directions to maneuver around the sand, and instead of controller where you can use the analog stick. And since I started mentioning it, I just want to shout out Sri right now, because Sri has done a community mod which is accepted on the leaderboard, which just fixes some of the more annoying bugs of the game that are basically inconsistent. Like, it fixes some timing differences and makes some movement more comfortable, and just big shout out to Zuri for figuring all of that out. But we're heading into another, like the best skip in the game, in my opinion. This is Patience skip, if you want to explain to you.
Oh yeah, there is a lot to explain. I hope you guys are ready. So we're gonna see Bella's do nothing, and then continue to do nothing for another 42.5 seconds, very precisely 42.5 seconds, and then we're gonna leave. Because the alternative to doing that is to watch a cutscene that takes longer than 42.5 seconds, and that's slow.
Yeah.
So yeah, we can spam our bash mine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's maybe another thing to note. You can press the bash button. You're just not allowed to bash bash anything.
Bash an object.
Yeah. As long as you don't do that, you're fine though. So we're gonna go back to the teleporter we collect earlier to pick up that one energy cell fragment that we did all of this for. So yeah, pretty much that energy cell fragment has dictated like half the route of this run and half the rules. Because we didn't want to do all the bosses that we would normally need to get normal access to this area. So yeah, instead we're just doing this. And yeah, now that we have done this, we're getting back into the not quite starting area, but pretty much to basically clean up after ourselves, because now we have pretty much all the skills we need in this entire run. And yeah, we're back here. We're doing the swim again, but with water dash. We never explained water dash. Water dash is just a dash you can use underwater. We got it in the water area, and now we're actually gonna see the pickup that's famously divided. Oh yeah, that's first. True. Now we're gonna lose God mode.
Soon.
TNTM. We need
It's
to
also
bash.
worth mentioning that Bells has still been collecting some extra spirit light. We're gonna go back to Blaze at some point. We've got some extras to do that anyway. We're gonna be doing a little bit of upgrading of the Reckless Shad, which will just help us in our only other real, well, I guess there's two more combats coming up that it will help us out in. So, but yeah, we're gonna be seeing Bells here using Bash, because we need to pull this guy all the way over. Oh, that's unfortunate. We're going to be repeatedly bashing this enemy over to the left side. There is a breakable flaw, and usually there are one of two skills that you can buy to break the flaw. Or you can do what Bella's doing, which is extremely difficult, and then get this guy into this position where he stomps the flaw and it breaks it for you. So that's a massive time save compared to having to farm another 800 spirit light to unlock one of the weapons we would need to get that cell fragment.
So actually you don't need to bash this guy there, but you want to get rid of God mode because there's a bunch of cutscenes here that you can skip by quitting to menu. So this is where we get our old friend. Actually where we lose our old friend. And this is all we need, because basically when we lose her, we get her mother's feather. Don't worry about it, play the game, you'll understand what's happening. And we need that to gain access to one area that has 3 cell fragments, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, we're going through this lore section without having seen any of the lore. Don't worry about it. Play the game for yourself. It's gorgeous. It's usually on sale if you wait for it a bit. But yeah, we need to be able to quit to menu here, and that's why we're losing God mode, because after this we already have enough health to do most of the swims that are left.
So the reason why we're doing this is so that we can make a bear sneeze, and that is 100% true. It's a strange thing to say, but we are literally trying to make a bear sneeze. But we're going to be doing that a little bit later. For now, we're going to be heading into Moldwood, and Moldwood is delightfully dark and gloomy, and honestly, in the category that I run, we don't spend much time in it, thank goodness. Bells is going to be spending a little bit more time in it because we've got to go get all of the cell fragments in that area, as well as one up here. Moldwood has some interesting mechanics, if you want to explain, Tuka.
Yeah, so basically Moldwood is dark, and if you are in the darkness for too long, you die. But there's one intentional skill to skip the darkness. We're not gonna get that. Instead, we're using bow, because bow does the same thing, basically. It resets our darkness meter, so to speak, so we don't die to it. And yeah, we're just gonna use that all throughout. And I still don't understand why bow does have that property. And also, if we're just fast enough, we can also skip all of the darkness sections. Instead, we're doing now another reverse break off this wall, so we don't have to swim for the cell that's here. And you can kind of see the darkness creeping in on Bellers, and every time that happens, he just shoots a bow, and that completely resets it. So, yeah, thank you, Moon, for having such a jank game. It really does help. So, and here's actually where we use that keystone we had left over for basically the entirety of the run. This is the last keystone door we need, I think. So we can just use both of them that we had, and it saves a bunch of time because the other keystone is fairly slow to get to, and especially get back to. But now we're just collecting pickups here, doing another reverse break for optimized movement here. So this spider actually gives us light as well, so we don't have to use bow if it's alive, but obviously when we kill it with shuriken we do. And we're collecting another health cell fragment here, which is very important because upcoming is a swim, and you saw Bellers there unequip some shards that basically enhance the damage taken, and obviously we don't want to do that if we do actually swim. So now we can see what the water is supposed to do, basically. So we're taking continuous damage, and it is very precise to move around here and not die to the darkness. Nicely done. First try, back to the start of the game, and back to the most polarizing decision in all of Ori.
That was mega clean. To do that so cleanly on KBM, where you can only wall dash in 8 directions, like super clean. That was impressive. Yeah, we're back in the start area again. We've collected just one cell. It's just one little cell hanging out over here.
But the health regain is really nice, so that's why we didn't pick it up before, because having max health is just convenient right now.
Yeah, so this cell is also funny in terms of routing, because this cell you can acquire from the start of the game. You can basically go left instead of right first and get it at the start. And originally when the route first was made, there was this thought that that should be the last cell to be gotten in the run, which would be incredibly funny. It's not, but it's close. So instead we're using all of the Gorlick ore now to gain access to that one cell fragment locked behind it. And we're just kind of cleaning up here, and as Seal alluded to earlier, we're doing a bit of shopping after. So we're gonna get this cell fragment, go back up, and yeah, splurge a bit, I think.
That's it, yeah. So it is worth mentioning that we didn't talk about this the first time around, but there's actually a cutscene trigger directly above the sand. So Bella's there being extra careful to burrow directly into the sand and not touch it first. If he touched it, he would have lost 10 seconds to being forced to watch a cutscene. But yeah, again, just the power of launch loss. Like, when you're playing casually, a lot of these things are gated behind certain abilities, and like traversing the upper tree areas can be it's not like the easiest thing, but like we just absolutely get through that in like no time at all. So yeah, so we bought 2 upgrades to the Reckless Shard. We also bought the Wing Clip Shard. Wing Clip allows us to deal double damage to flying enemies, except the flying enemy at the end of the game, the final boss Shriek, who is a literal giant bird, does not work against her. Probably for balance reasons, but like it is kind of funny.
Yeah. Especially if you see the boss it works against. It's incredibly funny. But yeah,
that's true. I'll pick up about that.
We're gonna make a bear sneeze here, as Seal alluded to earlier. So we basically tickle him with a bit of wind, and he sneezes and basically unlocks the way here because he sneezes so hard, he moves himself like 10 meters. So now we're into Bower's Reach, and we're here yet again for exactly 1 cell fragment, and that's the entire reason we're entering this area. So we're just beelining there. We do not care about the skill that's here. We do not care about any lore reasons why we might be here. We're just collecting cabbages. And it's actually really great to see. This is also a good point to make sure that we have all the cell fragments we need. So we can see we already have the 16 cell fragments or cells that we need for energy. and there's one more cell for health to collect, and we get one half here and the other in the actual last area of the game. So that's where we're moving to now. We're basically approaching the end.
Wow. You are absolutely zooming through this one, Bellers.
Yeah, I am minus 30, so it's very, very stressful right now, but we are on a killer pace. Just trying to clutch up. That's why I wasn't talking so much, by the way. Apologies for that. I'm just kind of trying to absolutely focus up, you know?
Yeah, that's why
Zone
we're here.
in.
Just trying to get world record on a GDQ Hotfix show, no worries.
Oh god, okay.
Yeah, so we're going to be heading into Willow Tree here. So Willow Tree is the one area of the game that's actually designed with launch in mind. So this area is supposed to be, using a lot of launches. But again, with launch swaps, we're still going to be able to bust through it in record speed. There are also some pretty interesting tricks that we can pull off here. So the objective in this area, apart from collecting the last few cells, is to destroy these 8 creep hearts, which unlock the door to the final boss. Normally you'd have to go all the way around to get this one. We can actually just like shoot this one through the wall with sentry. So another cool no Ori out of bounds trick here. Like that would not be allowed in a no out of bounds run, but we can do it in this run, and it allows us to save a bunch of time.
Yeah, and it gets us to the last cell fragment that we need. So now we're at 1616. Don't worry about the buggy energy in the bottom left. It's there, I swear. It's just buggy. So yeah, as Seal explained, we kind of need to destroy 8 of the hearts. This one is also, you're supposed to run away from this boulder, but we don't care about that. We just go underneath since we're quick. And we have these cutscenes after each of them. There isn't really a whole lot we can do about them in this category because we're real-time optimized, so we can't just skip these 2-second cutscenes by having a 5-second quit to menu, basically. But yeah, coming up is another interesting trick we call Quidditch, where we just take this shot and redirect it so we can destroy a wall. Oh, no! It's extremely precise. It's extremely precise, extremely hard, so not getting it first try is definitely understandable. You need to redirect it and follow this shot along. And yeah, nicely done, second try. Now we can destroy this heart. Normally you're supposed to do a whole puzzle that takes like 5-6 redirects, but it's extremely slow. So we're not bothering with this. Instead, we're just gonna do this and head to our next heart.
Yes, this is the alt hat. This is the burrow hat. Coming in, I always love doing this hat, watching good runners do this hat, because it's just so many cool combinations of burrows and bashes and launch swaps and just flying through it as fast as possible. It's like this hat is like fundamentally what Ori movement is all about for me. Just like the combos of different things you do, absolutely awesome. So from Belzed, flies through it. The next one, we're going to be looking for ideal cycle here. There's a bunch of spinning poles, and we're going to go through a few of them. So if you get a good cycle here, Belle's going to get through pretty quickly, and if we don't get a good cycle, then it's going to be a little bit awkward. So he's going to pass through the bottom of the laser, which just doesn't have a hurt box for some reason. And yeah, it gets a pretty clean cycle here overall, so that's a clean half 5 as well.
Yeah, this is by many considered the hardest heart, so absolutely amazing to see it get destroyed like this. And upcoming is the boss heart, which is a little mini boss. And yeah, this is the reason we bought Wing Clip for. And I guess technically it's flying because it's in the air, but how is this more of a flying enemy than a literal bird?
It does not have wings. Because Wing Clip works on it. But yeah, with this boss is not the easiest to kill with Shuriken plus Sword. And Wing Clip really helps out. Some of its attacks can get quite annoying, but if we're able to kill it before it can really do much, as Bells just did, then it just makes it very consistent and also pretty dang fast.
Yeah, another small trick I want to point out here is that Sword and Launch also have an interesting interaction where if you launch and Sword at the same time upwards, you basically enhance your launch, even though you're not doing a launch swap, which saves a bunch of time because obviously menuing in the weapon wheel loses slide times. So if we only need like a slight boost upwards, then that's a really nice optimization, and that's what we see Belarus doing here repeatedly. Oh, gets the fast cycle here, nicely done. And we're on to our last tart, and here's the really potentially... Okay, I'm not gonna jinx it. I'm actually not gonna talk about it. Just know we're heading into the final fight. We're heading into the final fight.
Shriek, my beloved.
A lot could go wrong in Hot 8, and as soon as something goes wrong, all these spinning wheels get terrible cycles, and you lose a bunch of time. So yeah, Bella's basically perfect through it, got all the ideal cycles, very clean Hot 8, and we're actually going to be doing some actual real combat here as we come up to the final boss.
Yeah, we don't need Wing Clip for this because this is quite obviously not a flying boss. But this is Shriek. Shriek has 4 phases. This is phase 1. Since we have all the health and energy in the world, basically, we do not need to worry about dying or getting out of energy, but we still want to be as fast as possible. So now phase 1 is done. The second phase is just a little escape phase. So we're trying to launch swap here to get through as quickly as possible. There are some very nice angles. Oh, does not quite get the full one, but nicely done. Nice save here. We're on to phase 3 now. And hopefully we get her in like 2 or 3 phases here. And hopefully the background attacks are... Oh, nice. This is a very good attack. This fight is fully RNG, so we're just hoping right now. Okay, very good. We're getting decent RNG here. Let's go. Absolutely amazing. We just need a bit more damage.
Oh my.
Let's go.
That was so
We're
close.
into the final phase.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah, so the best you can do is what Bells did, is you want to get Shriek into this last phase, and 2 of her attacks where you can hit her. And the reason why that's so important to do that ultimately is the longer the fight goes on, the more chances you have to get a background attack, which takes 15 seconds and you can't damage her during it.
So yeah, just last phase here. Oh my god. Belarus, my heart. And we just need to do the final few damages here, and...
That's really got good. Oh my, we did it. That's sub 55. Wow, that's crazy. That's time ends, by the way. Time ends. Oh, I'm actually kind of shaking. That was so good. That was so good. Oh, again, sorry that I wasn't talking that much. I thought I was on Killer Run and had to clutch up.
Oh my gosh. No, you're fine. Please. Like, it's not every day that, you're on world record pace. So that was amazing that you were able to just like zone in, find yourself, and complete the game. Well done, Bellers. Holy smokes.
Thank you.
Bellers, do you have anything to say to our viewers?
I mean, listen, if this game looked at all interesting to you, I'd highly consider picking it up. It's such a fun speedrun game, and the progression of getting better is like the best I've ever experienced. There's new tricks at every level that you're learning. Big shout outs to Zray for doing the community patch, which balanced a lot of the hardware issues, which made speedrunning a lot more balanced for everyone. Big shout outs to the people who made ACF. Honestly, this category is really, really fun. And thank you to chat, and thank you for hosting me. That's ACF.
Wow. Bellers, so let me ask you this. Do you have plans to keep going? Or are you feeling like, world record achieved, you're feeling good?
I definitely see myself coming back. I mean, it's just such a fun category to grind, and it might not have looked on it, but there's still some pretty big mistakes, so it can be optimized even further. So, looking forward to that.
Well, absolutely mesmerizing run. Thank you so much for being here, Bellers.
Thank you.
Listen, people, if you're watching this and you had a good time during this Ori run, please follow Bellers here on Twitch. That is twitch.tv/BellersTheBomb. And of course, 2Kill Seal, I want to know, do y'all stream as well? What are your plans?
So
I do stream, but I don't stream Ori. my Ori speedrunning career is at I'm not actively running right now, but I am actively streaming.
Okay.
If you for some reason want to come say hello.
Right on. What about you two, Kill?
So actually, major shoutouts to the rando community of this game. I'm personally, as Belarus said in the beginning, a randomizer runner. The randomizer is extremely beginner friendly, so if you're looking for something low-key to get into, that's what you want to do, probably. And I stream at 42 kills, so if you want to check it out, feel free to, and definitely check out the randomizer at wotw.orirando.com. And yeah, thanks for having us, and world record, let's go.
Yes, world record, let's go. Oh my gosh, Bellers, I hope that after this run, you can find some time to chill out, maybe celebrate, a little champagne, whatever you
Yeah, I'm not going to sleep for a while.
Yeah, we're gonna ride that adrenaline of the world record. My gosh. All right, my friends. Well, thank you all so much for being here. That is gonna be a wrap on tonight's episode of Time Capsule. Thank you again to all of our wonderful guests tonight, and Bellers, 2Kill, Seal, thank you all again for being here. If you are interested in submitting your own run for the show, you can always use the command !Time Capsule right here in our Twitch chat to learn more about how you can submit your games. And for more hotfix, you can always check out our VODs on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/gamesdonequick. If you're watching this on YouTube from the future and you had fun with us, be sure to press the like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you just missed out on our hotfix shows tonight, stay tuned for a replay of RNG and Time Capsule coming up right after the break. We will be live again Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern with Do All the Things and Parallel Universe. Have a beautiful day or night wherever you are in the world, my friends, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.